and Gosier from Guadeloupe. So we introduced two more teams here in this tournament. 2022, the final year of the Concacaf Caribbean Club Shield and Concacaf Caribbean Club Championship before the two give way for the brand new Caribbean Cup, which will launch in 2023. 31 Caribbean Football Union member associations here in CONCACAF. 27 of them classified as non-professional leagues that were allowed to submit a team each into the CONCACAF Caribbean Club Shield. And here are the four teams we have in Group B. Real Rincon and Gosier locking horns here, followed by a match between SWA Sharks FC and Young Holland. So two more matches to go on this field today in Mayaguez. Rains came through and delayed all the action by a half an hour at the start of the day. Some more rain came at the end of the first match, but no lightning that would have delayed anything else. But the surface is very slick out there as these two teams get ready to take the field. 11 teams split into three separate groups, 4 teams each in groups A and B, just 3 teams in Group C. All 3 group winners advance to the semifinal, as well as the highest ranked second place team. And then from there, we get right into the semifinal where the highest ranked group winner will face the top second place finisher in the semifinal, with the other 2 group winners facing off, unless the best second place finisher is from the same group as the highest ranked group winner. Then we shuffle things up just a bit. As long as the 2022 CONCACAF Caribbean Club Shield champion meets the required criteria to participate in Scotiabank CONCACAF League, there will be a play-in match on May 24th between the team that finishes in 4th place of the Caribbean Club Championship and the team that wins this tournament right here. The winner of that match would claim the last Caribbean berth in the 2022 Scotiabank CONCACAF League. So a lot at stake, but just getting started here today in this year's edition, the final edition of the CONCACAF Caribbean Club Shield. We'll get you to kickoff in just a few moments.
Damas y caballeros, demos la bienvenida al equipo Real Rincon y al equipo Gosier para el partido de esta noche de la Concacaf Damas y caballeros, he aquí las alineaciones para el partido de esta noche. Por el equipo Real Rincon.
Real Rincon starting 11, led by captain Rincon France. And then up top, he will look to the likes of Fabio Herc. Ayrton Sicilia as the number 10 in the middle, trying to get off on the right foot here in Group B play of the Concacaf Caribbean Club Shield. Referees in this one are led by Puerto Rico's Jose Torres as the teams head out there to conduct the coin toss. Rincon France, the captain, as I mentioned, for Real Rincon. Yohanan Kisori, the captain on the other side for AS Gosier. Now Guadeloupe has historically seen its teams perform well in this tournament. Club Franciscain won it all in 2018 and then finished as the runners-up in 2019. Here is the AS Gosier side. They have no listed substitutes. Only one player on the bench is Alan George, the backup goalkeeper. So Michael Germain's squad, this might be it. You're going to have to go the whole way, it appears, without any changes. How might that factor in once we get to the second half? The tired, heavy legs set in on a humid evening in Mayaguez. Something to keep an eye on. We saw that in the match that preceded this, where Deportivo Nacional of Aruba just ran out of steam in the second half after they went down by a man. AS Gosier in the white from right to left. Real Rincon in the blue from left to right as the sun peeks back out from behind the clouds here in Mayaguez. AS Gosier coming into this tournament off of back-to-back domestic titles in Guadeloupe. See if they can carry that success here into CONCACAF competition. And away we go. First match in Group B. Real Rincon, 11-time winners of the Bonaire League. And they finished in third place in this tournament back in 2018, hoping to replicate some of that success and go on a deep run. Early foul across midfield against Karim Lauba. Jose Torres wants to have a chat with him. This is where they'll have to be smart in this one. AS Gosier can't afford any silly yellows, especially early on. They don't have the luxury of making a sub to get that yellow card off the field. Again, just one listed substitute, backup goalkeeper Alan George. Pair of national team players for Guadeloupe, for AS Gosier. Serene Livier participated in the Gold Cup last year for Guadeloupe. Chance through here. Cecilia takes it too wide on the left foot. Ayrton Cecilia recycles the attack. Yamric Santiago, Fabio Herrick, and then in goal, Rishi Saint-Franz. All three play internationally for Bonaire. Some national team experience around as well on both of these clubs. And as we get into June, with the return of Concacaf Nations League, a lot of these smaller Caribbean islands a chance to showcase their international talents in that tournament. Counter here for AS Gosier. Down the right side, play to the middle, pinballs around and away from Rishi Saint-Franz's goal. Sarian Olivier gave it a quick chase, saw it was out for a throw-in, and let it be. AS Gosier made their CONCACAF debut last year in the expanded 2021 Flow Caribbean CONCACAF Club Championship. They were in Group C and went through the tournament without a victory. Their best performance was a 3-1 loss against eventual semifinalists AS Samaritain of Martinique. So a tough introduction to CONCACAF play last year for AS Gosier, hoping for a better go of it this time around. Real Rincon, on the other hand, as I mentioned earlier, came in third place in this tournament back in 2018. Also participated in 2019. Of course, 2020, no tournaments all around. And last year, Real Rincon did also participate in that expanded Flow CONCACAF Caribbean Club Championship. Rincon lost to Club Franciscain, the champions, in 2018, as this one is touched too far ahead by Ayrton Cecilia. But a big win for Real Rincon in the third place game, 3-1 over Nacional of Aruba to take home that bronze medal back in 2018. If you're Real Rincon in this one today, patience probably has to be the operating word. You know your opponent is going to get to a point where they just simply tire without any changes to be made in the second half. Franz gets it through midfield where it's taken down by Lauba and won back by Real Rincon at the feet again of Cecilia. He has seen a lot of that ball in the early stages of this game. And he earns a corner for Real Rincon. Corner didn't get by the first defender. Fabio Herrick will need to do better the next time. Yamric Santiago gets it back into play with the throw. Into space down the left side for Olivier. Goes down hard on top of Lovianga. Brosius. He just mishits that. Finding a way through. Tomas Chagnon keeps it in at the end line. Chagnon back for Olivier. Olivier finds a crease, deflected off the heel of Lacey Pauletta. First corner of the match now for AS Gosier. Blasted to the backside of the box and dealt with by Ayrton Cecilia. AS Gosier comes from a small town located on the southern coast of Guadeloupe. Small town and a small nation, but finding a way through to Concacaf competition each of the last couple of years. Long throw in, top of the 6, falls in front of Olivier before it's cleared. Good group defending by Real Rincon, not allowing AS Gosier any time on the ball outside of the area to get a shot off. Over the top again, looking for Olivier. At some point, they're going to find him. Real Rincon's got to be careful on that back line. Again, Olivier, a player with experience for Guadeloupe internationally. On the roster of the most recent Gold Cup last summer. Start to wonder if all of this is maybe part of the strategy and the mindset of Real Rincon. Just kind of sit back and let AS Gosier get all that energy out of their system, running around in the early stages of this one, knowing full well that they might not have a bench they can dip into in that second half. Again, just one listed substitute, goalkeeper Alan George on the side of AS Gosier. Floated in for a header by Olivier, just wide. Again, the service coming in for Olivier. Not a bad look after a very good ball in from Yuma Gaspar. Played over the top to Fabio Herc. Herc's shot is fed along out for a corner kick. Good hustle by Malik Brosius. Corner still alive, going toward that back post and drifts over the goal. Now corner from the other side. Curled toward that back post. Nobody there to get a foot on it, and out of play for a goal kick. Already saw one very impressive showing in this tournament. That came in Group C, where Inter Moenga Tapo went ahead and won 5-2 over Deportivo Nacional of Aruba. So the side from Suriname secures the first 3 points of the Concacaf Caribbean Club Shield. They sit in Group C, and now after a win in the opener like that, being that Group C only has 3 teams, it means they have just one more game to play. So they will likely just need a draw in all likelihood to get on through to the semifinal. Olivier keeps it alive down toward the corner. Top of the area. Chagnot leaves it for Lauba. Now back for Brosius, patiently back with it to Linon. Back for Brosius. At the quarter hour mark, still scoreless between Real Rincon and AS Gosier. Real Rincon, the side from Bonaire, in the 2022 Concacaf Caribbean Club Shield, hoping for a repeat of 2018 where they made it through to the semifinal, hoping to improve upon that result. They lost in the semifinal before winning the third place match and taking bronze from this tournament. Here's what you don't want to see if you're AS Gosier with your limited bench. Roman Linon down injured. Hobbling back into the play. Greeted by Isha Hewen of Real Rincon. Those two back behind the play collided. Gosier ended up as the champions of the 2020-2021 season domestically in Guadeloupe. That's how they got through to this tournament this year. Popped over the top by Lauba. Good first touch initially by Rempar Cole, but his second touch led him into traffic instead of away from it. Good challenge put in from behind by Celestine. Real Rincon really seems content to let AS Gosier just take the ball here in the early stages of the first half. You wonder how much of that is just their style versus knowing the limited bench that AS Gosier has, the changes they won't be able to make in the second half. Good ball in for the moment. Dealt with by Rishi Saint-Franz. Cut back by Hewen. On the same page, though, as Cecilia. Here's Lauba down the left wing. Kareem Lauba couldn't get by. Well defended by Santiago. Put a strong foot in, didn't catch any of the body. Same can't be said, though, for Lucas Arden. Comes right through the legs and commits the foul. Look back at that last challenge that left Fabio Herc momentarily down. But he's walked it off and rejoined the attack. Cecilia takes it off the chest. Finds a loose ball, slots it through, all the way to the end line. Cut back by Michiel. Celestine taken down, free kick on the way for Real Rincon, 20 minutes into this. See if Real Rincon can get anything on this set piece. Essentially a better angled corner kick. Right into the wall. Second effort once again dispatched by Gosier. From a ways away, no trouble, right into the pit of the chest of Dimitri Edouard. Chanyo playing around the back here. Gosier. Continue to just get the sense that Real Rincon has another gear they could kick it into, but content to allow AS Gosier to deplete themselves of those energy reserves as much as they can here in this first half. Only Alan George listed as a substitute, the backup goalkeeper. Deflects on through for Brosius, but cleared away by Rutger Toad. Taken down by Herc. Almost gave it away to Chanyo coming through the middle, and now it's taken back by AS Gosier. Sloppy at the back from Real Rincon. Good turn from Olivier, and he draws the foul. Free kick on the way. on the edge of what's maybe too far to go for goal for Ramon Leon. Also a little bit too close for a cross. Not much of an angle to get that ball into. Which way does Ramon Leon go? It will be a strike. Bent around the wall. Forces Richison Franz to make a stop. Right back to the attack for Chagnot. Curled in, top of the area. And Franz able to pluck it after Rempart Cole was not able to steer it goalward. Here's Brosius again. Lofts it, backside of the 6. Players colliding in the box. Rempart Cole and Olivier will have some talking to do after that. Michiel. Cut back to the left side for Cecilia. Played in the middle. Nobody home, making that back post run. Numbers here for Real Rincon. Slotted through for Fabio Herc. Lays it off. Now Ayrton Cecilia. Quick 1-2 touch. Deflects all around the box. Still alive. I don't know how that one stayed in. Whether a goal kick or corner kick, either way, somehow held up on the end line. Turn from Hewen. Kept it in. Just over halfway through this first half. Maybe Real Rincon opening up a bit. They were sitting back. They were letting AS Gosier dictate the play. Lacey Pauletta stands on the free kick. Floats it centrally, flicked on and in! Real Rincon takes the lead in the 28th minute. Good delivery on the free kick. And then just skimmed along in the middle by Isha Hewen. Looked like it came off the back of his head, never even turned around on it. Have another look. Good ball floated in by Pauletta. And right there, yeah, just back to goal. He flicked it backwards and in. What a job done directing that one by Isha Hewen. And Real Rincon, after sitting back for about 25 minutes, letting AS Gosier conduct the play. A quick strike counter, and they're up 1-0.
Número 7 del equipo Real Rincon, Isha Hogan, en el minuto 28.
Can they get another one quickly? Tried the quick throw into Cecilia. Defender came out of nowhere. Richie Franz taking control of the box. Cecilia through for Hewen. Just tough to envision a road back in this one for AS Gosier. The longer this one goes, the more tired they get without resources to tap into on the bench. Down a goal. Almost felt like they had to bag one of those early opportunities. And they found Olivier in space in the box. Here's Olivier. Good tackle. Down in the corner by Fabio Herc. He concedes a corner kick, though. Hewen, the goal scorer. Up to Pauletta, who had the assist on that goal. Over a half an hour gone. Real Rincon scored just a few moments ago. What a header it was from Isha Hewen. Back to goal, skimmed it off the back of his head into the corner to give them this 1-0 lead here in the 2022 Concacaf Caribbean Club Shield group stage here in Group B, match day number 1. Real Rincon representing Bonaire against AS Gosier representing Guadeloupe. Final year this year of this tournament and of the Concacaf Caribbean Club Championship, which takes place in May. Those two tournaments will merge in effect to create the Caribbean Cup, launching in 2023, part of the new qualification process for an expanded Concacaf Champions League starting next year. 11 different nations represented in this year's tournament. Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, Dominica, Guadeloupe, Martinique, Puerto Rico, St. Lucia, St. Martin, Suriname, and Turks and Caicos, the 11. And those 11 teams split into 3 separate groups. 2 groups with 4 teams each. Those are groups A and B. 1 group with just 3 teams. That is Group C. All 3 group winners advance to the semifinal, plus the highest ranked second place team. And those second place teams will be ranked based on average points per game, since teams in Group C are at the inherent disadvantage of playing just 2 matches instead of 3 matches like the teams in Groups A and B will play. So have to do it based on average points rather than total raw number of points. The highest ranked group winner, when it's all said and done, will face that top-ranked second-place finisher. Olivier squirts through, goes down, penalty. The lifeline for AS Gosier here in the first half. Not much going forward, but a chance now from the spot to tie it up at 1. Olivier calling for the stretcher as well. Good first touch. Second touch took him into traffic, but his third touch scooted him by 2 defenders. You'd think Olivier might have been the one to take the penalty kick. He drew it. He's been their best offensive player. He's got experience internationally for Guadeloupe. But the challenge leads him off the field. So if he was set to be the penalty taker, who steps up now? Well, we have our answer. Romain Linon. Chance here in the 36th minute for Romain Linon to get things level again. Going up against Richie Saint-Franc. Here's the whistle from Jose Torres. Romain Linon skies it. Squandered opportunity for Gosier to get things level. An hesitation step before the strike, hoping to get the goalkeeper to commit. He did. But perhaps once Romain Linon saw that he guessed the right way, it got in his own head a little bit. Olivier back out on the field. Or Gosier. Perhaps unlucky for the side down 1-0. Again, you imagine he would have been the penalty taker had he not had to come off the field. Ewan. Perfectly weighted ball out in front for Fabio Herrick, but well done defensively to cut that off and steer it to the corner by Lucas Arden. Quarter kick on the way for Real Rincon. Curled in, right into the hands of Dimitri Edouard. So the top-ranked group winner will face the best finishing second-place team in the semifinal, while the other 2 group winners face off against each other That is, unless that highest-ranked second-place finisher is from the same group as the top-ranked first-place finisher. So, for example, in this group, if Real Rincon were the first-place team and AS Gosier were the highest-ranked second-place team, instead of playing each other in the semifinal, they would split it up so that Real Rincon would face one of the other group winners, as would be the case with AS Gosier. Another penalty. Didn't seem like a lot there. A lot of confused looks on faces. Serene Livier takes the ball in hand this time. And there's your answer. He would have been the penalty taker the first time had he not been off the field injured. Grabs it this time. Perhaps a handball in there this time around on Rucker Toad. So his second chance now from the penalty spot in the closing moments of this first half. Serene Livier, slow approach, and he misses as well. 2 penalties in the first half for AS Gosier, 2 that were off target entirely. And that time, Richie Franz guessed the wrong way as well. So all Livier had to do was find the corner. Brief stop in the action as Semyon Celestine was tended to, but he has walked off the field on his own power. If this scoreline holds into the break, you just wonder how mentally deflating it's got to be for AS Gosier. Don't have a bench to tap into today. Just one sub listed, the backup goalkeeper. Try and play it as tight as you can. Give up the goal earlier in the first half off of a set piece. Had 2 chances to bring it back level from the penalty spot. It's one thing if the other goalkeeper makes a save, you tip the cap for a job well done. But 2 penalties, twice they missed the target. First one from Romain Lenon. And you wonder maybe he was forced into taking that because Livier was briefly off the field injured after he drew the penalty. The second penalty comes around. We got our answer. Livier, the penalty taker, quickly grabbed the ball, put it down, but then he misses as well. And here we are still 1-0 Real Rincon. In the corner for Brosius. Well defended by Fabio Herrick. Flicked on by Cecilia. Almost got it back from Hewen. His goal still holding up right now as the difference maker. Scooped by Michiel towards Cecilia. Wise to it off the line, Dimitri Edouard. to the end line. Still in, and finally cleared by Pauletta. First day of 9 days of action in the 2022 Concacaf Caribbean Club Shield, the final taking place on April 24th. Real Rincon hoping to get there, hoping to improve upon their 2018 showing when they came in third place. Here's Cecilia, cuts it across, in the middle, save made by Edouard. Deflected and still in, but the flag up for offside on Cecilia. Dimitri Edouard with a big stop to keep this at 1-0. On the other side of it, Fredgen Michiel, can't believe he missed that chance. Mishandled by Pauletta in the middle. Does well enough, though, to draw the foul. Here's a look at that last save from Dimitri Edouard. Good positioning. Gets across quickly. 2 minutes of added time here at the end of the first half. This one playing out very similarly to the match that preceded it between Deportivo Nacional of Aruba and Inter Moengo Tapo of Suriname. Not much going on in the first 20-25 minutes. Then all of a sudden, a goal opens up the game. Real Rincon gets on the score sheet off the set piece. All of a sudden, AS Gosier springs to life offensively, draws 2 penalties, misses the target on both of them. That's got to be a tough pill to swallow as they go into the locker room, should it still remain 1-0. Deflects through for Chagnot, slots it through for Brosius. Cuts it back, nobody making the run. Maybe the wrong ball in the end. He had a back post runner, and he had space to shoot. Maybe that's the last chance for AS Gosier to find an equalizer in the first 45. Into the back of Isha Hewen, and that's a fitting end, as the last player to touch the ball is Isha Hewen, who has the lone goal in this one for Real Rincon. Scored it off a header from a set piece, and they have a 1-0 lead that they're maybe still lucky to have. They committed 2 penalties in that first half. AS Gosier bailed them out by missing the target on both. So it's 1-0 Real Rincon at the end of the first half here in the first match of Group B in the 2022 Concacaf Caribbean Club Shield.
Damas y caballeros, al finalizar el primer tiempo, la anotación de este partido, Real Rincon 1, AS Gosier 0. At the end of the first half, the score is Real Rincon 1, AS Gosier 0.
45 minutes come and gone between Real Rincon, the team representing from Bonaire, and AS Gosier, the team representing from Guadeloupe. Early stage of this match, not much going on offensively for either side. The best couple of advances forward belong to Syrian Livier. Had a couple of shots that went off target, not troubling Richie Saint-Franz, the goalkeeper for Real Rincon. And then here's the tally. Flicked on by Isha Hewen, back of his head. Never even turned around and looked at the target, knew where it was, found it. Here's where things got interesting. 2 penalties were called in favor of AS Gosier in the half. Those are the 2 fouls that set them up. One was a foul, one was a handball. The results were the same. They both missed the target, both times, when they had chances to level things at 1 goal apiece. Fortunate to still be down just 1-0, though, AS Gosier, courtesy of this stop by Dimitri Edouard, robbing Freddie and Michiel. And that's it, 1-0, Real Rincon at the end of 1.
conectándote desde 12 destinos en Estados Unidos al mundo a través de una red que sigue expandiendo, volando de forma más segura y ecológica. QatarAirways.com. Déjate inspirar por los colores de Puerto Rico. La vibrante paleta de colores de nuestra isla brindará el escenario perfecto para tu próximo evento. Conoce más en discoverpuertorico.com/sports. El Departamento de Recreación y Deportes cuenta con una amplia oferta académica, deportiva y recreativa a través de sus programas en el Instituto Puertorriqueño para el Desarrollo del Deporte y la Recreación. Para más detalles, comunícate al 787-781-2800 o visita Facebook Departamento de Recreación y Deportes, en Instagram y Twitter, Recreo y Deportes. Todos por el deporte. El fair play y el mutuo respeto son fundamentales en el fútbol. La conducta discriminatoria no está permitida. Les pedimos que respeten los principios del fair play y que tomen parte del fútbol con espíritu de unidad, de respeto e igualdad. Y no a la discriminación.
Ready to begin half number 2 between Real Rincon and AS Gosier. Real Rincon staked to a 1-0 lead courtesy of Issa Hewen. Midway through that first half, his glancing header got them ahead, and he will begin with the kickoff of half number 2. Gosier went on to miss 2 penalty kicks in that half. Not even saved. Target missed entirely. Waiting for the whistle to get things going. And away we go. Lacey Pauletta had the assist on the opening goal. Still man in the middle of the park for Real Rincon. Quick attack going forward to Hewen. Flag stays down. Hewen goes down. And is called for playing the ball from the ground. Real Rincon sat back, invited the pressure from AS Gosier much of that first half. And again, just a reminder, you wonder how much of that is a stylistic choice versus wanting AS Gosier to run out of some energy. They don't have a bench, only one listed sub, and it's a goalkeeper. Olivier was the dangerous man in that first half. It's his first attack going forward, but results in a goal kick. Gathered by Arden. Gets it inside to Lauba. Volley mistimed by Chenio, going for something spectacular. Celestine, step over, earns a corner. The backside of the 6. Nobody gets a touch to it. Olivier shields it out for a goal kick. Rishi Franz gets it back into play. Hasn't had a lot of work to do. He has had 2 penalties to contend with, but again, both missed the target. Cecilia up to Celestine. Too much contact there from Celestine as he tried to back into his defender. As Gosier comes into this after winning 2 straight domestic titles in Guadeloupe. Last year was their first exposure to Concacaf competition in the expanded Flow Concacaf Caribbean Club Championship. Did not win a game in the group stage. Put up a good fight, though, against eventual semifinalist Samaritain of Martinique. Played through for Gaspar in the middle, waiting for somebody to get a touch to it. Olivier fighting. Still alive for Rincon. And now the whistle blows to tend to an injured player back behind the play. Relo Vianga. Real Rincon, 11-time champions of their domestic league in Bonaire. Hoping to get back through to the semifinal as they did in this tournament in 2018. Still up a goal. Here's a look back at that last challenge that left Yanga down. Interesting call there. There was no foul initially called, and then goes back, does Jose Torres, to give a yellow. Whether his 4th official or the assistant referee on the near side, someone must have alerted him to something he might have missed. It's one thing to maybe miss a foul, but then to go back and give a yellow. Somebody told you something, and on second look, it is the right call. A lot of contact there from Olivier. This is where things get dicey. for Gosier. Yuma Gaspar down injured, went down on his own. Nobody on the bench listed as a field player, just Alan George, the goalkeeper. Get the sense that it's going to take something brilliant from Gosier or something dreadful from Real Rincon to allow Gosier back into this. And that's if Rincon doesn't go ahead and get a second. Cecilia to the end line. Goal kick. This match will be followed by SWA Sharks FC from Turks and Caicos against Young Holland of Curacao. The other two teams in Group B competing a half an hour after this match concludes right here on the same field. Yuma Gaspar ready to check back in for AS Gosier. Turned over. Cecilia looking for an alley to shoot. Cecilia strikes it. Edouard turns it aside for a corner kick. Real Rincon, founded back in 1957. Rich history locally in Bonaire. They won their first title back in 1972. Real Rincon also 8-time winners of the tournament. That used to be the Copa ABC. Contested from teams all playing on the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, all lined up in a row down off the coast of Venezuela. All those teams would meet annually for a tournament. Real Rincon 8 times lifted the trophy. For a small island nation in a small area where Real Rincon comes from in Bonaire, a rich history for the club. It's their 65th year of existence. Back in 2018, when Real Rincon made that run in the semifinal, they beat Hard Rock of Grenada and Avenues United of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the group stage before losing to Club Franciscain of Guadeloupe in the semifinal and then beating Deportivo Nacional of Aruba in that third place game. 2019, they failed to get out of the group stage, losing to Moulien and away with Wales. And then 2020 obviously never got off the ground due to COVID. Here's Chagnot. He goes down. Is this a third penalty? It is a third penalty in the match for Gosier. They missed the target on each of the first two. Maybe third time's the charm. Lunging in unnecessarily, Rilov Yanga Well, the question is, who's going to take this? Romain Linon already missed one. Serene Livier already missed one. Looks like Ronan Popote has taken the ball and will take the kick. Third penalty of the match. First two missed the target. Richisson Franz guessed right on one of them, guessed wrong on the other. Approaching the hour mark, can Gosier finally draw level? Third time from the penalty spot. Ronan Popote scores! Finally, third time's the charm from the penalty spot. It's 1-1. Well struck. Richisson Franz guessed correctly. Now Real Rincon has to turn things up a notch once again. They've had some opportunities that they've squandered. Maybe not taking full advantage of things in that first half after it seemed like the wind was totally out of the sails of AS Gosier after that second missed penalty. You could tell there was a shift in their attitude. Some new life maybe after the halftime break. They draw a third penalty. Just careless defending from Real Rincon. And now, as we approach the hour mark, it's 1-1. Now, of course, you never know which way a game would go after a goal is scored, so things might have been totally different had Gosier converted either the first or second or both of the first two penalties. Each little moment in a soccer match, a different butterfly effect on the moments that succeed it, but you start thinking, what if you're AS Gosier? What if you converted one of those other opportunities from the penalty spot? They'll take the one at least. Got it back level. Played over the top, looking for Livier. And Franz able to corral it. Long throw, Cecilia flicks it on. Falls to Pauletta. Goal kick on the way. 1 hour gone, half hour to go from Estadio Centroamericano Mayaguez in Mayaguez, Puerto Rico. First match of Group B play in the 2022 Concacaf Caribbean Club Shield. Joe Malfa with you for the action. Real Rincon scored back in the 25th minute to go up 1-0. Coasting they seem to be, especially after Gosier missed those first two penalties. But a third penalty given, and Gosier made that one count. More sloppy play, though, in their own defensive half here from Rincon. Give it away to Chagnon. Slides on through. Now Livier drives it over the bar. Well struck by Livier.
Sustitución por el equipo AS.
Into space, Lauba. And that one deflects out for a corner kick. Here comes Alan George. He's listed on the bench as a goalkeeper for AS Gosier. But you got to do what you got to do if the situation calls for it. Yuma Gaspar went down injured, has struggled to continue. So in comes Alan George. Always a goalkeeper's dream to play in the outfield for a little bit. He gets his chance.
Sustitución por el equipo Real Rincón. Entra a juego el número 2 de Mayaguez. Sale el número 7 de Centroamericano.
Another corner on the way for Gosier. Isha Hewen making a long walk around the field after being subbed off for Real Rincon. Lamar Yanga into the match now for Isha Hewen, who left his mark. He has the lone tally for Real Rincon. Pops up for a handball against Fredin Michiel, who pleads his case that his arm was at his side. Juan Torres has none of it. All of a sudden, this game controlled entirely by AS Gosier. Real Rincon had chances to increase its lead late first half, early second half. Olivier down the left wing as the rains begin to fall once again in Mayaguez. Thunderstorms delayed all of the day's action by 30 minutes. The rains came actually right around this same time in the first match of the day between Deportivo Nacional and Inter Moenga-Tepot. Right around the 70-minute mark. Here we are again, 66th minute. And as if on cue, the skies open up again. Just, of course, hope that there's nothing by way of thunderstorms to delay things once again. Can deal with some rain. It might affect the play, but at least you could still keep playing. Good hustle to deflect that one. Yanga, very ambitious there, trying to catch Dimitri Edouard off his line. You can already see, though, the fresh legs of Lamar Yanga flying atop the line. Falls to the feet of Rempar Cole. Right now, Gosier getting to every second ball, every loose ball going their way. Words being exchanged between Juan Torres and Roman Leon as he jogs up the field after that last challenge. Here's Olivier. Great ball slotted through. Runner in the middle. Sent that way. And blocked down by Osenor Beaumont. Corner on the way again for Gosier. Real Rincon needs some sort of spark. You wonder if Forley Geraldo Marcera goes to the bench again. Already brought in Lamarianga for some fresh legs up top. Corner curl to the back post over everybody. Assistant referee had to dodge that one. Almost caught up in the challenge, out for a goal kick. One off the goal kick again. Gosier winning those second balls. Great play through. Flag goes up. Terrific build. Led to Lucas Arden in on goal, but a step too soon. Couldn't hold the run. Couldn't hold the line. 20 minutes to go. Still level at 1 goal apiece. This is where the earlier match of the day all of a sudden opened up. A red card was shown, and in the final 20 minutes, there were 4 goals scored. That card not red, just yellow for Lamarianga. Yanga's got to be careful there lunging in the way he did. Just picked up the yellow card a minute ago after subbing in nearly 10 minutes ago. Once again on the counter, Gosier. Led by Olivier down the left side. Out for a throw. The outcome of the first game in Groups A and B, not as crucial as the outcomes of the first game in Group C, where earlier we saw Inter Moengotapo take down Deportivo Nacional with just 2 matches to play in that group, as Group C only has 3 teams. A win or a loss in that first game changes everything. Inter Moengotapo now probably just needs a draw to get through to the semifinal, whereas Deportivo Nacional, almost no path back. But with these teams involved here, you have a chance if you begin with a draw. But will either side be able to secure an extra 2 points in these last 18 minutes? Out wide to Chenio. And if Gosier is able to do it, what an impressive feat it would be. Only 1 player was listed on the bench, goalkeeper Alan George. He is subbed in as a field player. So you've got a backup goalkeeper playing the field because they need an extra body out there. They were down a goal. They come back to tie it in the second half. Out wide to Lucas Arden. Still Arden. Floats it backside of the 6. Last-ditch defending by Santiago. Olivier was lurking on the backside. Over the top towards Cecilia. Turns through. Yanga almost sprung to the loose ball. Goes back to help up his teammate. Cecilia springs to his feet. Just over a quarter hour remains in this 1-1 match. Olgenor Beaumont gets the ball back into play. Beaumont again overcooks it all the way through the box and taken by Chenio. Popote scored the penalty that leveled it. Springs the ball forward. Cut back for Alan George. Nobody making that backside run again. Olivier just watches it go by. Olivier wins it back. Olivier's shot. Scores! Olivier from outside the box with 15 to go. Puts Gosier up 2-1. Rishi France just watched it sail on by. From 1-0 down at the half to 2-1 up. Look at the hard work from Olivier. Wins the ball himself. Lines it up and scores it.
En el minuto número 76, anotado por el jugador número 9. Jugador número 9, Serin Livia.
This would be a very disappointing result for Real Rincon. Going up against a team that had 12 players listed. They've subbed a backup keeper in as a field player. Energy reserves depleting quickly throughout this one. You could see Gosier just dragging at times. But they've picked their moments to press and counter. They drew 3 penalties because of sloppy defending by Real Rincon. Finally converted one of them, AS Gosier. And then Serin Livier, who played this past year in the Gold Cup with Guadeloupe. A moment of brilliance to put them up 2-1. About 10 minutes into the second half, I mentioned that you got the sense it would take something bad from Rincon or terrific from Gosier to get them back in this one. It was a little bit of both. Terrible defending, ill-advised challenge to concede the penalty allowed Gosier to get this one to 1-1, and then that moment of brilliance to go up 2-1. Threaded through here. Celestine couldn't get there, and it's knocked out for a corner kick. So all of a sudden, with 12 minutes to go, it's Real Rincon that needs to come back. Driven corner into the middle and cleared by Brosius. Kept in by Beaumont. Floats it toward the penalty spot. Knocked away to Chanyo. Given away to Cecilia. And a good challenge put in by the man who lost it, Rucker Toad. Will Gosier be able to push this one across the finish line without a bench to tap into? You wonder when Real Rincon might go back to that bench. They've only used one sub. Just very curious as to why on the side of Farley Geraldo Marcera. The one area you have a decided advantage is in your ability to tap into that bench. Get some fresh legs on the field. You have 5 subs at your disposal and a full bench. Gosier, no bench. Just one goalkeeper listed who has come in as a field player. Why not bring on more fresh legs and try to use that to your advantage? Just a 1 sub so far with Lamorianga coming in for Isha Hewen, who scored the lone goal for Real Rincon. Free kick over to the back post. Celestine puts it in the middle. Edouard lands on top of it. With 10 to go. Gosier did not win a game last year in the expanded Flow Concacaf Caribbean Cup Championship. Lost each of their group stage matches in their first experience in Concacaf competition. Might they be just 10 minutes away from picking up a win in the first group match this time? Second time now that Lamorianga has tried a strike from about 40 yards out since subbing on. The stretcher on the way out. That was Mikhail German, the head coach for Gosier, barking out the instructions. His team 7 minutes away plus stoppage time from a come-from-behind victory. Ooh, heavy challenge from Olivier. Might have gotten an elbow up into the face. Pauletta comes in for a word. Torres helps him to his feet. Also goes over to help Cecilia to his feet. Rather, Santiago. Real Rincon with not much of an attack in this second half. No build-up play. Anything they've tried to play over the top direct has been sent back the other way by the Gosier back line. The only real attack they had was that set-piece goal that sort of came out of nowhere in that first half. Fortunate to only be down 2-1 with those other two penalties that Gosier missed. More top-notch defending. That time, Ronan Popote comes in. He got the goal on the third penalty to make it 1-1 in the second half. Not much of a sense of urgency from Real Rincon. Not looking like a team that's down a goal with 5 minutes to go in the first match of your group stage. Ran through the group with no issues back in 2018. Made it all the way to the semifinal. They lost to the eventual champions. And now here is a new player inserted. Jairo Clarenda. In for Celestine. But that's just the second sub used by Real Rincon. Trying to spark something in the attack, but is it too little too late?
Jairo Clarenda, sale el número 9, Samuel Celeste. Al minuto 86.
That's a straight red. Coming out of the pocket for Santiago. On first glance, it didn't seem that severe. But Chanio writhing in pain. Second match in a row here on this field today with a straight red send-off. Let's have another look. Santiago. It's the two-footed nature of it. From bad to worse now for Real Rincon. Santiago makes the long walk across. So now, with 3.5 to go, Real Rincon down a goal and a man. Although, depending on the nature of the injury right now for Chanio, who is up and standing on his own 2 feet, if he weren't able to continue, it would be 11v11 still. Rather 10v10, excuse me, because there's no sub available for Gosier. They've used their only sub that they had on the bench. But it looks like Chanio will be good to go. So now, with 2.5 to go, Gosier up a goal, up a man. Rawls gets it back into play quickly. Beaumont up the wing. Gets it to Herc. Play it up towards Cecilia. Pops out for Fabio Herc. Loose in the middle. Brought down by Michiel. Deflected over the bar. Out for a corner kick. Michiel slaps the ground in anguish. Might that have been the best chance here as this one winds down for Real Rincon in the 90th minute now. A chance from the corner. Lacey Pauletta to the back post. Kept alive by Yanga. Back into the middle. Headed away by Popotai. Out for Beaumont. Always rising, never close. By the time this goal kick is put back into play, clock will read 90. Gosier will just be a couple of minutes away from stealing this one. Down 1-0 for much of the match. A penalty in the second half, their third of the match. Finally, they converted after missing the first two. Made it 1-1. And then Serene Livier with an absolute beauty of a strike from outside the area to the top corner, beating Rishi Saint-Franz. Made it 2-1. Now there's 4 minutes of added time. Played in behind. Here's Alan George. He's taken down really hard by Beaumont. Remember, Real Rincon playing down a man. Red card was given to Santiago. Now a yellow here shown to Beaumont.
Damas y caballeros, su atención por favor. Tarjeta amarilla fue mostrada al jugador número 4 del equipo Real Rincon.
And they get a third here on the set piece. Put this one away, go up 3-1. Kareem Lauba will deliver it. On the ground, in the middle, Chagnot turns. Taken by Beaumont. Flicked on to Arden. Dips the shoulder around the right side. Arden wisely takes it to the corner with 2 minutes to go. Linon circles back to the corner, now leaves for Arden. All the way back now for Dimitri Edouard. Let's not forget the save he made late in that first half. From just outside the 6-yard box, a wide open Freddie and Michiel. Had a first-time shot and a lot of net to shoot at. Dimitri Edouard made a terrific reflex save. And it left Michiel in anguish, just pounding the ground. Ended up lifting his shirt above his eyes right before the halftime whistle, wondering what could have been. At that point, if that ball goes in, it might snowball in Real Rincon's favor. That was just after Gosier missed 2 penalties where they would have had a chance to tie and maybe take the lead even. to go from that to minutes later conceding to go down 2-0. That could have been absolutely deflating for Gosier. Instead, Edouard keeps them in. They come out of the gates in the second half, earn another penalty, score it. And then from 1-1, everything after that went Gosier's way. Not too long after, made it 2-1 on the strike from Olivier. And with the way the clock is ticking here, this might be the last opportunity Rincon has. 30 seconds to go of the 4 minutes given. Out to Cecilia. And sent away by Olivier. Tackle at midfield. Thought it might have been a yellow card as well for Rucker Toad. Montour is lenient. But not much time left on the clock. In fact, no time left on the clock. Final whistle blows. AS Gosier comes from behind to win it 2-1. Real Rincon up a goal early in the first half. They watched it slip away. Have to applaud the effort of AS Gosier. The 11 players who started, only one was able to come off. It was Yuma Gaspar. He was injured. They had to sub in Alan George, the backup goalkeeper, as a field player, who was their only player available. And AS Gosier wins this one 2-1 to take all 3 points as they begin Group B play here in the 2022 Concacaf Caribbean Club Shield.
Real Rincon 1, AS Gosier 2. Qatar Airways, la aerolínea oficial de la Concacaf Caribbean Club Shield 2022, orgullosamente conectándote desde 12 destinos en Estados Unidos al mundo a través de una red que sigue expandiendo, volando de forma más segura y ecológica. QatarAirways.com. Concacaf agradece el extraordinario apoyo de los socios del torneo.
A glance back at the highlights of this one between Real Rincon and AS Gosier. Real Rincon representing Bonaire here in this tournament, and AS Gosier representing Guadeloupe. Early first half, it was all Real Rincon. They were the ones dictating the pace of play with the possession. Not too many good opportunities came of it until they finally broke through on the set piece right here. Pauletta lifts it forward, flicked on by Hewen, made it 1-0 around the 25-minute mark. But from there, that's where things started to take an interesting turn. That was the first penalty awarded to AS Gosier, and here's how it resulted. Skied, 0 for 1 from the penalty spot. A couple minutes later, handball, second penalty. This time, Olivier steps up to take it. And same result, missed the target, 0 for 2 from the penalty spot. They're not done, though, from the penalty mark. The second half, they would make their return to the spot. Here's that save I was talking about a couple minutes ago. Slid across from Cecilia, and just robbery there from Dimitri Edouard, dragging that left hand as he slid across. And second half, Cecilia is stopped again by Edouard. Chagnot comes in, taken down. Now a third penalty awarded to Gosier. A third different kick taker. Ronan Popotai comes in to take this one. Franz guesses the right way, but can't get a touch to it. And it makes it 1-1. AS Gosier, all the momentum going their way. And look at this bit of class here from Cyril Olivier. Wins it himself, pulls up, and just knocks it to the far corner. That made it 2-1, and they never looked back. Red card here issued to Yannick Santiago. Comes in with a strong two-footed challenge. So for the remaining 5 minutes plus stoppage time, Real Rincon was down a man and down a goal. And AS Gosier was able to get it all the way through with that 2-1 lead and turn that into a 2-1 victory, earning all 3 points here in Group B on their first match in the 2022 Concacaf Caribbean Club Shield. And that'll do it for us for now for this one between Real Rincon and AS Gosier. The next match will begin in about 30 minutes' time. Stick with us.